one's taken this more seriously than your dad, right? You said your dad had been self-isolating to such an extent he didn't even know what coronavirus was.
Exactly. Yeah, he would have walked around outside like in 2 weeks' time from now, and he would have been like, "Oh, what's going on? Where is everyone?"
Basically, the scene from 28 Days Later at the start of the film.
Yeah, I've never seen that film though.
That's Dan's. That's Dan's dad.
Yeah, like my
Yeah.
dad, the only thing he does is he goes to Sainsbury's and the library. So he would have been going, and he only does that like once every week, and he'd have been going there like next week. He'd be like, "Oh, what's going on?" I
That's because your
mean,
dad's a learned man, not a simp like us, you know.
yeah, he's not not a simp. Yeah, he's a bit, and he actually prides himself in that. He's very much like, "Oh, I'm not like everyone else. I don't watch TV. I read books and stuff. I'm smart." It's like, okay, you're so smart that you don't even know what's going on right now.
Okay, so I've just hit the record button, everyone. So welcome to the first episode of The Empty Gallery. This is a art-based podcast where we talk about art stuff. My name is Henry Pucknell. I'm an artist from Hertfordshire, and joining me is my good friend Dan.
Dan Soares I'm an artist from Southwest London, Surbiton, Kingston Borough. I guess that's London, could be Surrey. I say it's London though. That's me. I'm Dan Soares.
So very topically, me and Dan have decided to talk about coronavirus in the first episode. So you've heard about coronavirus from political perspective, the NHS's perspective, the police's perspective. But the one perspective you forgot about was the artist's perspective. So me and Dan are here to help. So earlier in the week, me and Dan were saying that the artists that are going to deal with COVID-19 the best are artists who are streaming or running podcasts and things because they're completely unaffected. Also, the porn industry, almost completely unaffected, apart from the self-isolating thing, because surely the porn stars have got to self-isolate. Dan, do we
Oh
consider
no,
porn
see,
stars to be artists? Fuck it, I guess so. I
um,
don't know. I guess they're
I don't
actors,
know.
aren't they? They're
Maybe,
actors. And
maybe,
actors are
maybe porn
artists.
direct are actors artists. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
that's a funny one. I don't know. See,
yeah,
here's
of
the
course
thing.
they are.
I was watching. There's an art to what they do, obviously, and I think they are like they've really. It's hard to do what they do. But is it art? Is it an art? Are they artists?
It's an extremely
I think
restricted
all right.
art form.
Let's say that they were. I'd still say that a director is the highest, is on the top of the pyramid in terms of like artists in Hollywood. It's like the director's the top. It has to be. You can't say that
It's hard to be an
the
artist without creative freedom, and actors have to play roles, don't they, which are pre-established. So
I mean, they do contribute something as well, though. And I think directors are there's some directors I think choose actors who are flexible and fluid, and they choose them because they can potentially bring something new to it, and they can work together with the director. I think they do that shit. I'm not sure exactly, but that sounds like a pretty creative process. A lot of actors make films. A lot of actors direct as well, actually, don't
yeah,
they? Um, but I think um. What was the original question?
we're just talking about streaming and stuff. And speaking of
Oh,
streaming
porn.
services, speaking of porn,
Porn.
we've got to talk about yoga. Okay,
Oh yeah.
right. So
So you can
there
do
is some
yoga online
serious,
now.
yeah, there is some serious yoga profiteering going on. I was talking to someone at work the other day. She
I'll
pays
never go
like
that
ten
far then.
pounds. It's £10 per session to stream this yoga instructor. This yoga instructor was streaming to 50 people. That's £500 for an hour's work. She wouldn't be able to fit 50 people in a room to do yoga normally. I think the max from what I gather from my mum is it's like 30 people in a room or something. So
Yeah, or
she's
even less,
almost
maybe even
doubled
10.
her customer base, like the amount of money she can make in an hour.
Don't call it profiteering though, like it's a terrible thing.
Well, I don't know. I guess no, it's not like profiteering, but it's making some money out of the situation. It's not fucking selling toilet paper on at like £40 for 4 rows, but
Oh, like that guy.
yeah, but it's
Well, here's
it's
the
up
thing,
there,
man. Is she makes a living teaching yoga, and now she suddenly can't. She has to do it somehow.
Yeah, and she has to just make loads more money out of it. Okay, so COVID-19, how's it affecting us as artists? Dan, go.
Well, all of the art fairs were cancelled. I think the Armory show was cancelled. I'm not sure if they
And
went
you were
ahead with
signed
it or
up to go to a lot of them, weren't you? You just signed up
not.
for email alerts at least.
No, I'm just signed up for email alerts so that
Yeah.
one day when I have the money, I'm like, yes, I'll just buy a flight and I'll buy a ticket and I'll be there.
Dan,
But at
remember
the
that time at
moment,
uni in second or third year, and I met you at the train station at Farnham, and we just like happened to be going into London at the same time to go to the same art fair. Like we hadn't
yeah,
pre-arranged to meet each other or anything. Like I think I was supposed to be going with someone else, and they dropped out, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just go on my own." Yeah, and then we just bumped into each other. That was a good day out. That was a good day out. And
it was.
remember there's a lot of like normie shit because there always is like a lot of normie fucking paintings. They were selling some
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
who
They're
did
just
who did the
selling,
paintings of the meat monsters again?
mate. They
Uh,
were just selling a lot of art that was just like, oh man, this is just. They're just basically calling. It's just an art fair is like someone getting a microphone. What's those things? Those things that people talk into and
speakerphone,
be a
megaphone.
speakerphone, a megaphone, and being like, "Hey, every rich person in London or in whichever major city is like being held in, come to this art fair and look at some art and definitely buy some art."
Buy our
Like
normie shit.
that's
Yeah,
what those things are for, man. And they're just for business. And
yeah,
I think even if you went to like Freeze, I'd never even been to Freeze, and don't know how I've never been to it, but I've just never been to it. Even if you went to Freeze and you're seeing all this great contemporary artwork, it's all for sale, it's all for money.
yeah,
It's not like you're getting it's not like you go to like an art gallery and you get like this experience and you get to experience the art and get close to it. It's just basically like, look, this is the art. Do you want it? Do you not want it? Here's how much it costs. Um, the, I think probably a better way to sell art would be through an exhibition anyway, because you want people to experience it in that way first before they buy it. But anyway,
yeah. Without
but
telling
the
people
thing
what
is,
they. Who was the
thing
artist
is,
who did the
the
meat
meat paint.
meat monsters? Screaming faces.
Oh, Francis Bacon.
They were selling a Francis Bacon
The
at the art
meat
fair.
monsters.
I
Oh
remember
my
that.
God, the meat monsters.
I just referred to Francis Bacon as the meat monster guy. Everybody, I couldn't
Oh,
fucking remember his
that
name.
is so
I can never remember Francis Bacon's name. So I remember that was like a big highlight.
meat
But
monsters.
remember we
Such
walked.
the thing is people think of him as such a people when they talk about Francis Bacon, there's like such they talk about him in such a sophisticated way,
Yeah,
and he's such a sophisticated artist, and you're just like, oh yeah, the guy who painted the meat monsters.
this is what you get from the empty gallery. Everyone like me and Dan are just like totally unpretentious with this shit. Um, Francis Bacon is the meat monster guy. Like, come on, man. Like, fucking bacon in his name. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's yeah, and he
come on.
paints.
He
But
wanted
he
people
did.
to remember.
The thing is, he used to go to butcher shops because I read his biography, I
Francis
think, and
Bacon wasn't his real name, was it?
it was, yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh okay, there you go. Oh fuck. I thought maybe he changed his name. Like some actors changed their names. Shit. It shows what I know. I went to
Oh,
art school, man.
he was actually. I think Francis Bacon was completely unpretentious. I'm not sure, or he was either extremely pretentious or really unpretentious. I'm not sure, but
He
he
was
would go
kind
to
of
book.
semi-pretentious. He didn't want people to know that he painted off photographs. Like he had a studio assistant, and like he said to a studio assistant, "When I die, you need to burn all my albums of photographs that I've been painting from." And the studio assistant didn't do it.
Yeah, of course he
He
shouldn't do
didn't.
it
He didn't
either.
burn the
Follow.
fucking
Yeah,
shit, man.
Francis Bacon also said that he never sketches on the canvas. He just paints direct. He lied a lot. Yeah, fuck
He
me,
lied
he
a
lied.
lot. Yeah.
Tried to make out like he's some sort of master, but he wasn't. And a lot of artists do that, and it's just it's not on.
Mm,
Um, he made out like he never draws, but then I went to I saw an exhibition of like his drawings,
mm.
and the whole thing about the exhibition was like, oh, so Francis Bacon apparently said he never draws, but looky here, look what we found. We found some drawings by him. Was he lying? Was he not lying? Hmm.
That's interesting. Like as well. Like when you die as an artist, the mystique vanishes. and like people just like pick apart your corpse basically. Like the guy he trusted, who paid the studio assistant, and he was like, dude, when I die, burn all these photos, burn these photos, and he fucking didn't do it.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, would you do it? Would you do it? The thing is he's probably like, there's a lot of pressure not to do it because it's such valuable stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly. Like the pressure just corrupts, you know.
I mean, all right. The whole art fairs digs is they've all, and I've seen art galleries do this for a while. They have a virtual showroom now. They're all like, hey, they sent me an email. They're like, hey, you can't come to the art fair now. You just can't. But you can go to the virtual art fair. We're going to put a showroom on the internet, and all it really is basically a website with pictures of art on it. And some websites, some galleries and art fairs will go so far as to like put a backdrop behind the painting of like a gallery wall, and they'll go so far as to do that. But a lot of them don't, and it kind of takes us back to it takes us to not square one. It puts us in a situation where basically we don't have access to galleries, we don't have access to physical space. So
Yeah, and looking at a piece of artwork on a phone is just it doesn't compare to looking at it in a gallery in person, you know.
no, it doesn't at all because it's the scale, isn't it? And you can't get up close to it, you can't see the texture.
Yeah, everything's fucked up. Everything's like massive. It's like looking at a cartoon.
The thing is, art might become like that now. It
Mm.
might become more. I think a lot of art, because of Instagram, has become way more cartoonish and superficial and flat.
Yeah,
Because with Instagram, you don't get to like get right up close to a picture and look at the details and be like, oh, look at that. I love like if you go to an art gallery and, for example, if you go and look at some Turners in Tate Britain, you can get up close to it and see how he painted the ocean and,
yeah,
and and parts like that. But on Instagram, there's no seeing that. And if you're going to make a decision about whether or not you want to buy some art based on a picture you're seeing on the internet, you're not going to get that. So I think a lot of artists and a lot of galleries are going to opt out of. They're going to opt more. They're going to lean more towards making flat pictures that just look good on a computer and that don't have that kind of physical depth to them.
yeah. I guess the problem
Although
with the
that's
internet is
that's
you
not a terrible thing, though. I don't think that's a terrible thing.
I guess the problem with the internet is you have like seconds to capture people. So the more cartoony, the more simpler the image, the more likely you are to capture people, and like it like encourages like this is like a diss. People call it like 10-minute art, where you can look at a piece of work and you've appreciated it fully in 10 minutes. So that that kind of Instagram culture, etc., kind of encourages that.
Mhm.
So if we're in this COVID-19 lockdown for like 3 months, 6 months, like 3 months to the galleries open, could be even 6 months to the galleries open, we're probably going to be start seeing a lot more online art fairs, a lot more online exhibitions, and they don't even kind of these online exhibitions. They don't even kind of like try. I don't know. Like if I was going to do an online exhibition,
Mm.
I would put it up and maybe do like a video of the space or like some sort of thing where you can pan around the space. Instead it's just like it's just a
Mm.
bunch of images on a website like and you click into them and you can click through them. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're just gonna do away with it completely. I'm not sure they're. I get the feeling that eventually. I mean, yeah, they could do the thing where you can pan around a gallery and look at it. They might do that, or they might decide that basically doing an exhibition, they're just going to stop doing exhibitions and just have a shop on a website on a gallery on a website. And it's like, right, just click an image and then open an image and then close it and then open the next image and just do away with the whole idea of exhibitions in the first place. Because I think initially what an exhibition was for was just to sell art. It was those fairs that you had in France. What did you call those fairs in France? I can't remember, but in like the 1800s, they were having these
Oh fuck.
the sweet the
The
sweet the sweet
pavilions.
the pavilions, the sweet things.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Shit.
It was just to sell art, that sort of thing. And basically, in the 20s, in the 30s, in the 60s of the last century, artists thought, oh, you know what? It doesn't just have to be to sell art. We can make fun of it. We can have a whole experience in this space, and we can like really do something else with it. We don't have to just be like making objects and putting prices on them. We can just uncommodify it. But you know, I think art's going to go back to being like a commodity, and it's going to go back to being like we don't need unless I mean, this is the thing as well. There's other types. I don't know what's going to happen with installation artists. What's going to happen with performance artists? I was telling my friend today, like if he was to go outside and do performance art, he would really stick out. Like people would just be like, "Dude, so you're breaking the law." You're going outside not to shop, not to pick up your kids, not to do any essential work. You're going outside to do performance art.
Can you say that was your form of exercise? You're allowed one form of exercise a day, right? Couldn't you say your performance art was your form of exercise, especially if it's quite like a physical thing?
Um, well, what
We
if you're
might have
doing
cracked
some,
it.
but you could be doing something really abstract and it just is blatantly not exercise.
You could do
You
some
know,
like
what,
star jumps in between. Come on, Dan, we
uh,
got to figure out a way around this thing. Come on, we got to crack it.
I don't, no, I don't think so. But the thing is, I think because they'll be breaking the law, they will, for example, they will post what they performed, they'll post it online on Instagram, and then people will be like, because the thing is, dude, if you actually look, I was people who are outside right now, they're standing out. I when I open the window and I see people outside, I don't have to. When I look through the window and I see people outside, I'm like, wow, what are they doing? Oh my God, get back indoors. Um, and I was watching a TV show the other day, and these people were like walking in and out of their houses, and I was like, it just felt like unusual already, even after just 2 weeks of this. It felt like, oh my God, look at them. They're just like walking up in each other's houses. And so if you're to be outside doing something unusual, everyone's just going to shout at you. Or not shout at you, everyone's just going to look at you and be like, oh no, like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You're not
I
supposed to be
kind of
doing
feel that because I'm still going to work. I'm a key worker, everyone, for everyone listening who's listening. I'm not a hero, you know. I just I make the hero thing look easy, you know.
that.
Anyway, just like walking to work, driving to work, like I really feel like I stand out. Like especially the walk where I park, the walk to work. There are always these school kids going to school, parents, people pushing buggies, kids walking. Like I'd have to like cross the road to get out of the way. There's like buggies that are incoming and stuff. And like now, when I walk from my car, fucking silence. You could hear a pin drop, and I'm the only person on the pavement. It's
Mm.
freaky. Like, yeah, everyone could see me. Like, everyone's looking out their window and stuff. You know. Yeah, people stand out. People who are outside stand out a lot now.
Yeah, they do, they do. And so all those people who are doing performance in public space, what the hell do they do now? Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, I've been doing this thing lately. I've been opening my window, and I haven't really been doing this, but like, I said, I shouted something at someone. I was like, "Get inside!" just to kind of scare them a bit, but it was just a joke. Um, yeah, this changes the game a lot, but I don't know, and I'm fully anticipating a good 6 months to a year of this, and then I'm hearing a lot of conspiracy theories about how things are never going to go back to normal, and how the government's gonna kind of realize that they have certain advantages keeping us indoors.
No, yeah, I've
They're
heard.
gonna be like,
Even my
hey, let's keep things that way. Actually, you know, you guys stay indoors and don't do anything. Okay, don't cause trouble.
yeah, even my mum came out and said it's gonna like sweep the whole of Europe right wing because the right wing will be able to use the rhetoric. If we had closed borders, this wouldn't have happened. You know, like they can just say like
Mm,
the right wing can just be like, oh, the immigration caused this. You know, and they can
jeez.
also capitalize on every country is kind of like a bit like a police state now,
Oh
and
yeah.
they might not necessarily want to give back all of that power. They might hang on to some of it. You know.
Yeah. You see, that's the thing. But at the same time, they wanna allow like it's not good for the economy for things to be like that, though, is it? So I don't know. Let's just see. And also the whole borders thing. But people will find a way to get in here. You know, if somebody catches a flu and they bring it, you know, it's very hard to detect that and to kind of stop It could be your own citizen going to China and coming back from China.
Unless Trump builds a wall so big, it's
Keeps viruses out.
it fucking keeps viruses out. It crosses the third dimension, goes four dimensional. You know, those immigrants can't they can't cross the fourth dimension. You know what I'm saying?
Is it
That's
in
what Trump's
South
saying.
America yet? Is this virus even in South America?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at South America. I just keep googling how it's progressing in the UK.
Yeah, I think the US are supposed to be screwed. I've been looking at that for quite a while. They're not taking it seriously, apparently. We were looking in this country, it was something like 20,000 deaths would be a good result. As in, it would be good if it was just 20,000. Like, but it's like, it sounds like it's likely to be a lot more than that.
God, in the UK, confirmed recoveries is only 135 from COVID-19 so far. That can't be right. Oh, I guess people
Well,
who've been really sick and then recovered. Most people don't get any symptoms at all, or they get like very mild symptoms and they just recover. We're recording on the 30th of March for the benefit of the listener. But Dan, if you Google COVID-19, Italy's on almost 12,000 deaths.
everyone in Italy's, not everyone, Italy's got one of the oldest populations in the world.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, a lot of Italians didn't want to have kids, sort of opted not to have kids, and sort of like more career focused.
Yeah.
At least that's what my mum said.
Oh, I don't know, mate. You're talking about Catholic country, where people have like six kids at a time. Like, I think, no, I don't think that's true, man. I come from a country similar to Italy, and it's all about having kids. It's all about
Really,
that.
even in Italy, I thought it was quite like an aging population, and they like weren't really interested in kids.
Well, no, it's an aging population. Why is it an It's an aging population probably because everyone's left. One. And I don't know. Wait a second. Why is it so? I come from Portugal, innit? So why why is there so many old people in Portugal? I can't remember. I know, I think the generation before ours just had a lot of kids. Like my uncle is like one of seven.
Boomer
My uh,
generation.
my, my uncles and my aunts are all one of four, five, six, seven kids. They're like before us, there was just a lot more of them.
I wonder how this will affect the property market because there's going to be like a lot of empty space. Dan, once this is all over, we might be able to capitalize on it. There might be, I mean, artists everywhere might be able to capitalize on it. There might be a lot of free, well, not free, but there'll be a lot of cheap space around. All these pubs and stuff that are just sitting empty, gyms sitting
Yeah.
empty. Maybe it's time for the artists to move in, you know, all the work that artists have been producing during the lockdown. It'll be time. It's time to shine, basically. I mean, a
That's
lot of
making
people
me
like
think.
they're not commuting to work, so that's like an hour saved a day at least. Maybe you're working from home, and there's only so much you can do. Maybe it doesn't fill up 7.5 hours, like or 8 hours, like your job normally would. That's more time to make art. Artists love staying inside, man, and making work. Unless you're like a
We do.
performance artist or something. I think after this, there's going to be like a massive cultural explosion. Just like you were saying earlier.
I agree. Oh yeah, I agree, man. I think it'd be really nice now I'm thinking about it to have an exhibition in a pub, in an old disused pub. That'd be so good. Or just to take it over and be like, right, this is now a gallery.
Remember when we were planning conspiracies to our
Mhm.
2018 show that me and Dan were in? One of the venues we looked at was like an old police station in London, but
Um,
the website was dead and they didn't respond to messages or anything. But we might see a lot of other new spaces like that pop up. I think artists can only stand to gain out of this thing because artists aren't money motivated.
I mean, what
It's
do you need
about
to make art?
producing. Uh, the more time you have, the better the end product that you're producing.
Yeah,
Isolation
yeah,
is
oh,
also amazing for writers. Think about this: how good this is going to be for writers.
oh
Like
wow,
how many
yeah.
books are going to get written because
Oh my
authors
God.
are isolated at their homes. I mean, the negative is that a lot of writers talk about being distracted is like the worst thing possible for being a writer, and I guess their families are in the house as well, so that's like a huge distraction. Uh, but for the writers out there who've got like a shed they can go to, or whatever, they're laughing. Like they're probably gonna come out of this really well. Like there's gonna be so many books coming out after this shutdown.
Dude, yeah, there's gonna be a huge cultural explosion. I think there's gonna be a lot of books, a lot of new art made, a lot of new books made. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really nice. I think as well, this whole thing is gonna make people appreciate that sort of thing more. Everyone's been running around. London's been so fast paced these last few, I don't know, since forever. But London is such a fast paced place that you get the feeling that the people who live in it never have time to sit down and appreciate something a bit more pensive, something a bit quieter. And so this is a perfect. Literally everyone in London now is at 0 miles per hour, like 5 miles an hour. Everyone is having a chance to sit down. Everyone is inevitably going to think about something. Everyone is inevitably going to consider something new, and there's going to be a lot of people figuring their lives out, I guess, and you know, yeah, a lot of people are going to pick up new hobbies and new interests. I know a lot of people who are painting in their time off, and they're like just for as a hot, just they've never painted before. They're like, oh, I'm going to do some painting. And whereas before they used to tell me all the time, like, oh, I want to do that, I want to do that. But now it's like, well, now it's not that there's no excuse. It's just that now there's nothing else to do but that.
Yeah,
You literally can't even go outside. You have to stay at home, and you can sit there and watch TV all day or play video games, but but painting gives you more satisfaction than those things because you learn something about yourself. Yes.
yeah. A lot of creative
Whereas
work
playing
getting
Call of
done,
Duty,
a lot of books getting read, 100%.
yeah, yeah.
And something I've noticed as well, just in our kind of network, a lot of artists are working on their websites because they realize the internet is the only method they've got of delivering their work at the moment. So a lot of
Mm.
websites getting rewritten, lots of websites getting redone.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna finally publish mine. It's kind of given me a kick up the arse.
Yeah,
Um, I've changed my website like 7 times. I've published it and unpublished it. I've never been certain of it. And now I'm sort of just like, right, I have an opportunity now where people are telling me not to work,
yeah,
People are telling me not to work now. And if I don't use this opportunity to finally make good on the promise I made to myself and actually, um, take my work a step up and start putting more things online and make some money with my work through the internet, which is what I've been trying to do. If I don't make that make if I don't do that now, I'm just going to be kicking myself.
yeah. No, yeah. It's a if not now, then
So
when? And when artists get told not to work, they get to work.
yeah, yeah. If having a day job is just shit.
Yeah,
And it's not something a lot of people I know are just like, oh, but you have to, because I mean, I know you have to. I've known you have to since I was 5, but it's more like a lot of artists I know, they feel like they feel like the art thing is never going to work out, and that it's just a pipe dream, and um like even people who are really motivated and make a lot of art, they still don't think that they can, and they make a lot of good art as well. They still don't think that they can sell any of it. Like this friend of mine in New Cross is like, I'm looking at him and I'm just like, oh my God, just put a price tag on your paintings and just tell people that how much they just sell them for God's sake. You have like hundreds of them, and you just either sell them or burn them. Like do something with them. Like seriously, the guy isn't, and it's just like he doesn't realize how free he could be.
people who make YouTube videos, etc., podcasts, is only going to massively grow their audience, which will carry over once this thing is over.
Yeah, I think what we need to do as artists, we need to stick to to blogging to
Now is the time. Now is the perfect
podcasting.
time for artists to promote. Um,
Don't worry about exhibiting. You can't
yeah,
exhibit.
promote the work. Update your website. Reflection, like number one, like it's a great time to reflect on your work, and also a great time to make work. There's just a lot of time basically. There's a great time because there's a lot of time on offer. So make the most of it. Okay, everyone. So thanks for tuning into the first episode of Empty Gallery. Hopefully this will be a weekly podcast, and we want to get a few more artists involved, so it won't just be me and Dan next time. It won't be
Yeah,
just such a sausage fest, you know.
that's
Dan, where can people find your work?
Instagram.com/danny.suarez.all.life.and.art. Very long, I know. The link will be in the description probably. And the website is danielsuarez.cargo.site.
As for myself, you can find my work at henrypucknell.com, or just go on Facebook and search for Henry Pucknell Art. Links will be in the description. Dan, we never sort of described our practice. Do you want to describe your practice really briefly for the viewer? Yeah, it's a challenge. Use as few words as
I'll do
possible.
it. Oh, I make paintings from photographs.
Fucking sick. Henry, what do you do? Abstract constructivism. Abstract constructivism. Everyone, thanks for listening in, and hopefully see you next week. If not, it will probably be the week after that. We're new to this thing. We're just getting started. We are lazy. So, yeah.
No, we're not.
Thanks
We're
for tuning in.
hardworking.
No, yeah, we're hardworking. We are hardworking. All right. Thanks for tuning in.